Yo, what's up guys? It is PowerGotGame back with a longer awaited video. We are going to be ranking the top 10 best 2K Mypark players of NBA 2K21. So I've been waiting to do this for a long time, but before we get into the video, I want to go over a couple things so you guys understand and aren't confused about anything in the video. Number one, this list is based completely on these guys' 2K skill on current gen and next gen 2K21. It's not previous years, it's not 2K20, it's not 2K19, it's not 2K18, it's not what they did 4 or 5 years ago. So don't start to be like, oh, but this guy won all these wagers in 2K20 and he was a god in this game. It doesn't matter. We're talking about the current game. We're not talking about the game last year. So also, what a lot of people seem to get confused about with this video is it's based on their 2K skill, not their content or entertainment. So I don't want to hear, this guy just is hilarious, bro. Like, I watch all his videos. I just don't know why you didn't put him on a list, you hater. Like, it's not based on that. It's not based on how entertaining these people are. It's not based on the type of content they make. It's based completely on how good they are at 2K. So I want you guys to understand that so there's zero confusion right there. 2K skill, you guys got it? Anyway, number two is we have some requirements and we're gonna have some limits for this video. So obviously I don't know everybody in the 2K community. I can't rank everybody in the 2K community. So the easiest way for us to do this is to set guidelines of people everybody has seen so we can rank them fairly because we know how all these people play. There's a lot of people that are small that are good. I have no idea who they are. So the requirements are gonna be either 50K YouTube subs. Last year was 75K. I actually lowered it because nobody plays 2K21 like that. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. So 50K YouTube subs, or I wanted to be more inclusive, like people that stream or Twitch or YouTube streamers or whatever. So if you average or can get 1,000 viewers, not even just Twitch, but if you can get 1,000 viewers, so if you have 50K YouTube subs or you can get 1,000 viewers, we'll include you on this list. If you're below that, you're just not even. You can be the best player ever, you're just not going to be considered for this list. Okay, guys? So number three, and this is what a lot of people seem to be confused about every single year. When I make this list, this is my opinions on who I think the top 10 best 2K players are. It's literally my list. If you disagree with it, that's fine. You can comment, oh, I thought this person should have been higher. I thought this person should have been lower. But please don't sit here and get upset, because if you are that upset about this list, go on your own channel and make your list. You know what I mean? This is my list and I'm not gonna shape my opinions based on what other people think. So this is truly what I think in my head. Okay, guys? So I'm gonna give you reasons, I'm gonna break it down and everything, but it's okay for you to disagree, but don't get mad because it's my list. I don't want to hear, bro, but Power, you can't make the list. Okay, then make your own list. All right, number four, last but not least, is if this video does well, if we get 2K likes on this video, I will drop the Mypark Awards where we recognize and give a ton of awards for people that achieved a lot of things in 2K21. So I'm excited for that. Just get 2K likes. So if you haven't liked this video, like it right now. And I'm really excited. I'm really hyped to get into the 2K21 top 10 best Mypark players. Let's go. All right, guys, so to start out, before we get to the top 10, let's go over the honorable mentions. Now, the first honorable mention goes to Blah. Now, Blah, I didn't think he was good enough to be in the top 10 because he wasn't better than a lot of people are actually put on that list, but I still wanted to give him an honorable mention because he's achieved a lot this year. He really had a whole build kind of named after him on current gen, where they used to call it the Blah build, the Pure Red, and he started a whole wave of the way centers play. But I feel like some of the people on this list actually used his wave better than he did, but he's still one of the best centers in the game. I feel like he deserves a lot of credit, and I had to at least give him an honorable mention, but I felt like he lost to a lot of the people above him on this list, but we're still gonna give an honorable mention to Blah. The next honorable mention goes to Clutch DF. Now, Clutch, I feel like he's a really, really good guard. I've played with him, but I really couldn't put him up high on this list because I feel like even though I've seen him go off in Park, he dominates, he goes on win streaks all the time, he a legend, I haven't seen him really compete or play people in wagers enough where I can be like, okay, I can rank him ahead of people that have actually proven themselves. You know what I mean? And a lot of the wagers he did play, he didn't really perform that well. So I wish I could rank him higher, but a lot of it is you're gonna see in this list is based on what you did and what you've proven. And if you haven't really proven much, you can't rank him above people who have. Now to get in the top 10. I'm excited for this, guys. Coming in at number 10 is D-Boy. Now, D-Boy is dominating on current gen. He's beaten a lot of top players. He beat Keife multiple times on some of the top wagers of the year. He beat me on current gen. But I feel like a lot of it, as we're going to talk about later, a lot of people on this team deserve more credit for some of his wins. And when you would see him play not with certain people, you wouldn't see him do as well. It's like he seemed to be dependent on some of his team members that are a little bit higher than him individually. And then as we saw when he played me on Next Gen, he's not really the best Next Gen player at all. So I wanted to put him on the top 10 list because I definitely think he deserved it, but I feel like he couldn't be like top 5. He couldn't be as higher up as the people actually above him. Coming in at number 9, we have Steezo. Now Steezo, what I think he's really proved is on current gen, he played extremely well. He was really, really good on Next Gen. He started a whole wave of where he was dribbling like people didn't even think it was the same game because the way he was dribbling and getting open and creating on people. And he really was shown that his versatility, that he was good on both games. He could play any game and still dominate. But like I said, like he couldn't be higher. You couldn't put him 1, 2, 3 because who has he really played in a matchup where it's like, even if you look and you see him playing good in his videos, how do we know for sure he's gonna be like a top 5 player without seeing those comp wagers or matchups? So I thought he was a very good player, especially next in current gen. He adapted very well, unlike a lot of people. But I just couldn't put him higher because we haven't seen those matchups. Coming in at number 8, we have JoeKnows, man. JoeKnows, I feel like we always have him up on here, and I pretty much say a lot of similar stuff, but he's always consistently one of the better, if not one of the best 2K players every single year. He dominates not only what impressed me, like current gen, next gen, but not only Park, but he's also really good in Pro-Am. You're seeing him a lot in the Pro-Am leagues and competitions. He really knows what he's doing. He plays with a lot of high IQ. He has a versatility where he can play with any single build. With the post playmaker, he even started on current gen, on next gen. He could play the meta build that everybody used. And it seems like he's one of those players where he can be a guard, he can be a center, he can be a post scorer, he can be a slasher. And it really doesn't matter because he can adapt and he can adjust to whatever the game is in front of him. And a lot of people aren't like that. A lot of people, they're good at one thing, but if you ask them to do anything different, they can't adjust to it. So that's why I definitely had to put him on this list. But I need to see more matchups. We saw some pro matchups with him. We need to see more matchups to rank him ahead of the other people, which are really people, as you're going to see as we get higher, as that they have just beaten people where we can line up and say they have achievements under their belt in the park. So JoeKnows would be higher if we had seen him in a little bit more wagers. And that's what you're going to see as a common theme for a lot of people I mentioned. Coming in at number 7, we have Chris ZT. Now, I kind of doubt it because Chris ZT seemed like he almost took a break from 2K for a while, but he came back on current gen and he did for a bang. And you got to think about what he was doing in some of these threes wagers he played with Ticino. Ticino was delayed, so he was sitting corner on both sides on the 3v3 court. So this man, Chris ZT, on the play shot, was taking up the ball up the court, and he was playing defense as a lock. So he was playing defense and offense on a player that's not even meant for that, and he was still winning wagers against some of the best players in this game. You know what I mean? D-Boy was gonna be in, Neon got taken down. A lot of players came out. A lot of people took them for granted, and we gotta keep it honest. He did lose to somebody else that we have higher up on this list. And they were playing on West, so it was a little bit of an advantage, but he was still doing something that I don't know if anybody else could really do. Just play shot, play without a lock, and still win so efficiently as he did. So he definitely deserved to be at the 7th spot, but we're getting into the really tight spots where it's like everybody high up in this list. They really deserve to be there. Coming in at number 6, we have Yo Boss. So Yo Boss he's definitely one of the best centers. He beat almost everybody. A lot of the credit, I had to really rank him high because a lot of the credit when D-Boys wins, I'm gonna be honest, I feel like Boss, a lot of people overrate centers when people play. And there's so much attention on the guard. The guard who won, the guard who won, the guard who won. I feel like centers are so important. Boss proved that. Boss would go on D-Boy's team, win a wager. He switched to the other team, he'd win again. And it shows that he's that type of game changer where even where people didn't want to play him, when there was a thing where saying, oh, he's banned from wagers, because people would be willing to go and play D-Boy and the lock ballers back. But if Boss was on the team, they didn't want to play him. So he's really mastered, in my opinion, the inside center position of where he could just beat anybody. He dominates. He really knows what he's doing. And I played him on current gen, and I'm gonna be honest, he really went off. So I gotta give him his credit. One of the best centers, if not the best center in this game. Just, I couldn't rank him higher because the people above right here, or some of the people beat him. Some of the people were more well-rounded and versatile on current gen and next gen and playing both gens. I only really seen him on current gen. I haven't really seen him on next gen really go off and be as good. But he on current gen, he was a dog. So that's why we're gonna put him at number 6. Coming in at number 5 is Chad DF. Now, a lot of people that know Chad, they're gonna give me flack for this. They're gonna be like, Chad, like, there's no way you're ranking Chad this high. But he's one of the best guards in this game, and he hasn't gotten his credit for a long time. He's good on current gen. He's really versatile. He can really do anything. He's good on current gen. He's good on next gen. If you saw Chad play with us with a lot of next gen wagers, he went off. He won that. He'd go back on current gen. He win huge current gen stage 3-3 tournaments. In the D-Boy wager, he didn't perform his best right there, so I don't know if you could rank him higher, but he was new, adjusting to the game. When he really gets into a game, I feel like there's no game he can't master. And I felt like it was time he got his credit as one of the best guards in this game. And he's another person where, okay, he was legend on next gen, he came back and was still good on current gen. I just like, he's good at everything. There's almost no way to put it. He's really almost good at everything. He's good at 2s, he's good at 3s. A lot of people, these guards, like, they're only good at one court. So you'll see a lot of guards up here, okay, they can only play the 3-3 court really effectively. But Chad is a guy where it's not only he's a good 3s guard, but he's a good 2s guard too. So that's why he's coming in at number 5. Coming in at number 4, we have iShowSpeed. Now, I know Speed, he's not as much tryhard as some other people on the list, but I think he proved in some of these wagers when he went off that he's comp for real. Now, he literally went on a stretch of wagers where he beat me and DoubleH. He was beating everybody who challenged him in wager after wager after wager on the 2s court. And he really proved, when you play him, honestly, you kind of take him for granted because he's such a good entertainer. You probably take for granted if he's going to be just as good skill-wise. But he does not miss wide open. He's really consistent shooting. He goes off, and that's why I had to put him this high, because he really had legit matchups when he beat people. Now, I couldn't put him up higher because, 1, we really didn't see him on next gen do anything. But 2, I feel like if you saw him on the 3s court, I'm not going to say he's 2s maybe, but he's not as good on the 3s as he is on the 2s. He's really, really good on the 2s, but on the 3s, he can struggle. So you like to see people who are well-rounded. They can play both courts, and like the other people higher up on this list, and they're not only limited to one court. And then also, a lot of his wagers when he was playing he was on that legend account. So, you know, but number 4, pretty high, but we're getting really high up here, so we're going to move on. Coming in at number 3. We have Keife, bro. Keife was really good. He's probably one of the best, if not the best guards on current gen this year. He beat a lot of people. You saw him go. He took down Chrissy T on those 3s wagers. He played delayed and went out and won that. You saw him compete on the 2s court. He would beat people. That's why I give him such high marks right here, because you've seen him beat competitive people, not just on 3s, but on 2s. He's done it through delay. He's done it through challenges. I feel like he can just do it all. So, very well-rounded. I don't know if next gen, I've seen him play on next gen a little bit. I don't think he's as elite on next gen as he is on current gen. but he's really dominant on current gen. So you gotta rank a guy like him high on 3. And I feel like he really had a breakout year. Like he was, I'm not gonna lie, he was good last year, but I think he was even better this year. So that's why we're gonna rank him so high at the number 3 mark. Coming in at number 2, we have DoubleH. So first of all, he did almost the impossible here. You know what I mean? Only a few people done. He has legend on both gens. He had legend on next gen. He had legend on current gen. He came back and did that. You saw how comp he was when in the next gen wagers. He took down a lot of top clans. WST, Eyeball, as I know. He was really winning wagers when I was on his team a lot of time. On 2s, on 3s. It's really, he's good at every single court. That's one of the things that impressed me about him. He's good on next gen, he's good on current gen, he's good on both games, but he's also good at every court. He's good at 2s, he's good at 3s, shit, he's even good at 1s. Like, you saw him on when he set the highest 1v1 streak last year. He went on the 1v1 on next gen, and I think he had like a huge, like, 60 game on the 1v1 on next gen. He went back on current gen on a guard where nobody was winning, and only the post scorers were dominated, and he went on a 50 game 1v1 on current gen on his guard. He had the highest win streak on next gen, which is like an 80 game win streak right there, where it's like, that was almost impossible to get an 80 game on next gen if you ever play next gen, where people just let any random win. Like, it's so easy to lose a game. He can play guard, he can play lock. He's one of the few people that goes out there and he can ISO and win effectively. So that's why I feel like he has to be rated so high. And it's not only that, it's so many creative, versatile builds that he'll use. It's a lot of times he doesn't use the meta build. You'll see him use his builds that are out of the ordinary and still being successful doing it. Where a lot of people on this list can only succeed using the meta, following exactly what everybody else uses. It seems like he can succeed thinking outside the box and being creative. So another thing, not even to add on to it, current gen, he has unlimited boost, successful there. Next gen, he won almost literally every event. Was a Ruffles winner, was a 90s winner, was at almost every event you could think of on that game. It's like he almost won. So boot camp again on next gen. So he's won multiple events. He's proved himself not only in wagers and competitive matchups, but he's proved himself in events and in competitions. He's going on win streaks, stage, park, everywhere. And that's why I had to rank him higher than number 2. Obviously, this number 1 person, you know what I mean? I don't know if you could pass him, but just amazing achievements right there, if you guys ask me. Last but not least, coming in number 1, the number 1 player in the NBA 2K21 is PowerGotGame. I know this may come as a surprise to some of you guys, but he's done it again. 3 straight years. And he's really proved himself, becoming legend on both gens, like DoubleH, next gen, current gen. He had the highest win streak on next gen. He put out an 80, 90 game win streak on current gen. He literally took a build on current gen that nobody used, the stretch big, and he made it relevant. He made it useful. He did something that I don't think anybody, this is what they think about Power, and he separates himself every single year. I don't know how he does it, bro. And you just watch him play, because he went on next gen. We saw him winning all these big wagers over and over and over again, and you wonder, can he do that on current gen? He came back on current gen. He was still dominating the same way. And you watch him play. It's a work of art. It's really like, it's such a unique, beautiful, majestic play style. Nobody. It's a jab step. I don't see who jab steps. He just hits him with a jab step. Then they'll take him off the dribble. Then you'll see him fade from half court with a step back. And it's like, what type of player, what type of stretch even does that, bro? It's crazy. It's crazy. And I'm in shock. A lot of times I'll go watch PowerGotGame and I'm just in shock by his ability just to really change the game. It's when you're watching him, I don't know if we're playing the same game, because he's just that good. He wins events, he's unlimited boost. It's like, if you look at his account and you go look down unlimited boost, legend, it's like, he is everything like in an account and everything on a player that you would want. He's the optimal 2K player. So I don't want to give him too much praise, because, you know, PowerGotGame, he's a very humble guy. He wouldn't even want all this praise. But PowerGotGame, You have done it again. You have achieved it. The #1 player. Congratulations. Will everybody clap a round of applause for PowerDF. Yes, 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 yes. Thank you. So props to him. Props to everybody else up on this list. If you guys want to see the Mypark Awards, let's drop a like. 2,000 likes and we will get it. It's gonna be a banger. But before you guys leave, what I want you guys to do right quick is leave a comment. Tell me who you think should have been higher up on the list. Then tell me who you should have been lower on the list. Don't be toxic about it, but we can hear suggestions. I want to hear all your opinions. I want you to get you guys involved in the conversation. I challenge you guys, you make your own list. Go to your YouTube channel. If you have a different list, you disagree with me, make your own list of who you guys think the top 10 Mypark players of maybe a 2K21 were, and I'll check them out. You know what I mean? Make a TikTok. You guys can make a TikTok and I can look at those too. Just add me in it or mention me in it and I got you guys. I'll be looking at all your list. And before further ado, I am out.
It's funny how now she be calling me back. She see that I got it, I'm stuck in the trap. 40 autos and we put it right back. 40 autos and he left in the back. I can't be trusting cause people just act. I get the money, I run it right back.